So this video really should be me showing you how I put the transmission back up and then going for a spin, test out my new clutch. Unfortunately, I'm waiting on a part. So if you look right here, there's this little bolt right there, and it has like a little domed end that has broken off, and that's actually the pivot that sits into here on your clutch fork. So when you're pushing on your clutch fork, it sits on that, alright? And that's where it pivots about. Without that in place, one, your clutch is probably going to feel horrible, and two, it's probably not going to work the way it's supposed to. So it seems when I took my old clutch lever off, that little piece came with it, and if I had to guess, it was probably broken for a while, which is probably why my clutch felt so crummy. So yeah, I had to order that part from Toyota. I ordered it like last Saturday, and here we are Friday morning, or afternoon actually at this point, and still no response. So I'm waiting for them to get that. I did find it on eBay, but only available through some sellers out of like Saudi Arabia or Australia, and I figured like that'll take just as long to get as simply getting, you know, the part from Toyota. So I'm kind of annoyed. Usually like they can get simple things like that within a couple days, so I don't really know what's taking so long. It wasn't super expensive. I mean, for a bolt I suppose it kind of is, but it was under 20 bucks. I want to say it was like 18 what they were charging, and then like they always have like sale prices on some of these things. So all told, I don't know that I paid a ton of money for this. Let's see how much I paid for this thing. Looks like what I ended up paying was $9.36. Again, kind of expensive for a bolt, but this is a very critical bolt upon which my clutch fork pivots, and is kind of, you know, without that one bolt, the entire vehicle is fairly useless, unfortunately. You would think that the part would be more common because of that, but I wasn't able to find like a local auto parts equivalent that I could use, right? Like a part from AutoZone or somewhere else. None of them seem to have this, so I'm just kind of stuck waiting on Toyota. And in the meantime, I can't drive my truck, which really sucks because my truck is nicer on gas than my Camaro, and with current gas prices, that would be a major come up. By the way, if you need this part, the part number from Toyota is 312-363-0060. That part number gets you that pivot bolt for the Toyota Tacoma, and I'm pretty sure that applies for 95.5 all the way to 2004 Tacomas. Basically all the W59 transmission Tacomas should be good with that pivot bolt, and it is such a shame that I don't have it. So in the interim, it would seem that my truck is just going to sit here in my garage taking up space, which is quite unfortunate because I would really love to wash my Camaro, stash it in the garage, and only take it back out for autocross and track days. You know, I would also love to do the transmission and differential fluid for that car, as well as the brake fluid, which I've had for a while and just haven't installed because, well, truck project has been taking up space in the garage, and the other part of the garage is full of junk. I've got quite a collection of junk accumulated here. Large part being that rear axle Ford 8.8 that I have all the parts for except for the brake brackets, so that's why that's not in the truck right now. And then I just, you know, life, you accumulate a ton of random nonsense, but pretty much as soon as I can get that axle into the truck, this goes back to being a two-car garage. So I'll have the Camaro and the Miata inside of here, and I'll have my truck outside because obviously it's going to go back to daily driver duties. Garage itself could use a little love. If you remember my garage build, my shelf builds, all right, these were pretty cool. I swapped in that tankless water heater right there, and as part of getting the wires up into the attic and being able to get it to where the water heater is, I had to bust out a couple of points in the wall, which is why you see the white plastered over areas. So that's going to need to be repainted. Beyond getting that done, Obviously need to finish up those valve covers and the axle swap and get all the rest of this junk out of here so that I can put my car back inside. On this side I have my Miata, and then I'll have the truck the other spot. I'll also take these washing machines out of here. I've finally got the materials I need to finish building my dog kennel so my dogs can stop hanging out on my back porch, which means that I can take those machines and put them on the back porch and do laundry out there instead of in the garage. And honestly, it'll probably be a more pleasant experience to do laundry out there, just because the back porch has a nice cool breeze blowing all the time. Like sometimes it's sweltering hot in the garage and I have to use an industrial fan just to work in here. But I think in the future I will address that by adding air conditioning to the garage. And then, you know, in the distant future, I can sell my Camaro for a premium and talk about how it was kept in an air-conditioned garage. Say that with my pinky up. Here we've got assorted steering wheel collection. Those are all getting leather wrapped and sold. Yes, those are all Supra steering wheels. Yes, some of them will be carbon fiber. Again, I think not all of them will be flat bottom. I might just do like a more standard like round wheel with carbon fiber, but a few of them will get flat bottomed because why not? I know how to do it now. I'm good at it now. Those will come out actually much better than the original ones that I did the series on. So I know there's a bunch of you guys that are looking forward for that. So you'll get to see that soon enough. Got one in the truck right now, right? I've also gotten, probably mentioned this in another video, I finally got my hands on the connectors that I need in order to make the steering wheel buttons work. So I'm going to go ahead and set those up, and there will be a video with a how-to on that. And I'm also going to obviously have to buy like a steering wheel control module that interfaces with the radio, but I'll walk you guys through what I end up having to buy and how it all works together. And at the end of that, I should have functional steering wheel buttons in this truck, which means any of you that watches the video and wants to do it to your Tacoma should be able to have functional buttons in your truck as well. And that just, it's nice, helps to modernize the truck. It helps to keep you focused when you're driving, right? Because you keep your eyes on the road and not on the radio. You know, you can just change your volume and your tracks there. I've also obviously added that push start button. That doesn't really provide any advantage. That's just a cool factor, douchebaggery. But I enjoy that kind of project, so I'm definitely going to incorporate that as well. It's very funny to look in here and just see the floor through the floor of the truck. Back here you can see K24Z3, I want to say. Not a big Honda guy. This is something for my cousin. He's going to be manual swapping his TSX and also probably building a motor. We'll see how he feels when he gets back. He might actually just buy a Tesla and sell his car, but we'll see. In any case, if we do that or don't do that, there's going to be a spare TSX motor that is going to probably end up inside my Miata, because what the heck, my cousin is an awesome dude. He hooked it up with a free motor. Why not go ahead and toss that in the Miata and make 200 plus horsepower? I mean, these are very simple to turbo because there's no complex turbo manifold needed. You just kind of have like a pipe elbow that adapts that exhaust manifold there over, and then boom, that's really all you need. You'll have a fully functioning, you know, turbocharged setup. Well, obviously you'll need an intercooler and a few other things, right? But in general, even this motor bone stock inside my Miata should be a ton of fun. I mean, it's a lot of fun as is with the wimpy underpowered stock motor. So if I threw that in there, probably be a fairly serious little car. And with turbo, it'd probably be an absolutely dangerous little car, to be honest. It weighs 2,100 pounds, and they say that if you put in a tubular subframe when you do these K-swaps, you actually reduce weight over the front of the car. So that means the car is getting even lighter. It is a bigger motor, but it is an all aluminum motor versus the cast iron motor that you would be taking out. So definitely that combined with a tubular subframe, which is simpler, would make this a pretty sick swap. I do know that it is a slightly different setup for putting in the Z3 motors. I think there's something that doesn't require you to get a subframe or something of that sort, so maybe the weight might be a little different, but either way, 200 horsepower in a car that, you know, just weighs 2,000 pounds is plenty. You know, it's plenty of fun. And then with more juice in there, even better still. So look forward to doing that. I've gone ahead and painted this little plate that goes between the transmission and the bell housing. Just closes off the bottom of the trans so filth is not getting in there. Was looking kind of crummy, so I degreased it, you know, with some brake cleaner and wiped it down, and then spray painted it black because the paint was peeling in a couple spots and I didn't want it to start rusting up on me. No one will probably ever see that, but it'll make me happy. As you see, I've also gotten my horizontal bandsaw in here. I have not had this tool for a while because I had taken it somewhere where I was cutting the materials my buddy gave me for the dog kennel, and my truck was down, so I had to rely on my dad's truck to get there. And then, well, simply put, never quite coordinated getting this back. My father-in-law was able to go get it for me, so in his truck, so now I've got it back at the house. That's going to help me just knock out that whole dog kennel project. But yeah, looking forward to getting the truck running, looking forward to getting this thing out of the back of my truck. It's been leaking oil back here, which is not a good thing. And yeah, hopefully I have this all said and done really soon, and I can start enjoying a K Miata and a nice daily driver truck that's manageable and, you know, still has quite a few performance mods that make it fun to drive around in. So if you guys are interested in these types of projects, feel free to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you're notified whenever I post up another video. If you have any feedback, any comments, feel free to leave that in the comment section. And as always, thank you guys very much for watching.